it's sure great to be back, and we're going to continue talking about the modified PlayStation Mini, which I used the True Blue Mini to modify the PlayStation Mini. And sorry about the long hiatus, I just have a lot on my mind. So, we're going to now talk about games that start with the letter T, as in Timothy, starting with a game that is based off one of my all-time favorite Disney animated films of all time, next to Aladdin and Toy Story, which is Tarzan. And in this game, it's like a side scroll, and you take control of both younger and older Tarzan. And you know, I've seen the movie back in '99, the same year it came out with my mom that year in the movie theaters. And I've seen a lot of movies back when I was a kid, like the Hercules 1997 film, the Flintstones 1994 film, as well as the sequel, Viva Rock Vegas. So I don't think I've ever played this game before. I know it also came out for the Nintendo 64 that year, so moving on now to one of my favorite movies. Next up we have, not to confuse you all with the same name of the NES game, which is Tecmo Super Bowl, released in 1996. I'm pretty sure the original Tecmo Super Bowl for the NES came out in 1991. Because I do know that it came out in the early 90s. So moving on now to one of the earlier games of the PS1, back in the earliest days, Tecmo Deception. I'm pretty sure this game is hard though, so I've never played this game before, so moving on now to a game that I used to rent back when I was a kid, 10 Pin Alley. And you know, this game had a second game for the PlayStation, which featured the Animaniacs, and I used to love the Animaniacs as a kid, and I would do the new Good Idea, Bad Ideas. And speaking of Animaniacs, it is now out on Hulu. And I haven't seen the reboot on Hulu, so I might have to watch it one day. Okay, back to 10 Pin Alley. I've rented this game back in Blockbuster back in the early 2000s. And I'm pretty sure I rented it back when GameCube was already out. And I played it before. It's a pretty good game though. Moving on now to The Adventures of Lomax. It's one of the earlier PS1 titles, and this game is like a 2D side scroller like Super Mario Brothers. And I've tried this game out before. It's okay though, so yeah, this game's like Super Mario Brothers. Okay, moving on now to one of the later PS1 games. And this game is released by the same game company that brought you Grand Theft Auto, Rockstar Games. It's called The Italian Job. And I think this game is like Grand Theft Auto Vice City. And I've never played the Grand Theft Auto games, so maybe I might one day, if I'm lucky enough. Okay, next up we have a game that I think only came out in Japan. Because you know I love fighting games like Street Fighter, Tekken, Mortal Kombat, etc. This is the King of Fighters 96. And you guessed it, it was made by SNK in 1997. And I think the PlayStation 1 version only came out in Japan. And so did this one, King of Fighters 98. And I played this game on GameTap back when it used to play arcade games back in the late 2000s when I was still in high school. And I played this game before. I never got past the game. And it does have a lot of favorite characters in it. And you know, this game only came out in Japan, as well as King of Fighters 96. Moving on now to, based off the sequel of the 1993 film Jurassic Park, The Lost World Jurassic Park, based off the 1997 sequel to the 1993 film Jurassic Park, released in 98 by Electronic Arts. And speaking of Jurassic Park video games, I still own the SNES version of the first Jurassic Park film, which is based off of the 1993 film. Welcome to Jurassic Park. Love that game, but it's pretty hard though. Okay, we have the first game in the Need for Speed franchise, and one of the earlier PS1 titles also. And you know, the Need for Speed games are pretty difficult, so I've played some of the Need for Speed games in the past, so moving on now to another one of the earlier PS1 titles, Theme Park. And this game is like Sim City, but you get to create your own amusement park. And you know, I've played the Sim City games before, where you get to create your own city. Cool, right? And next up we have a Tony Hawk clone, Thrasher, Skate and Destroy, released by the same company that makes the Grand Theft Auto games, Rockstar Games in 1999. And this game is like a Tony Hawk clone. And you know I played some of the Tony Hawk games when I was a kid and to this day. Okay, and we have an RPG game, Threads of Fate. It was made by Squaresoft, now Square Enix in 2000. So I don't think I've ever played this game before. And you know I like RPG games, and most RPG games are a little tough. Okay, next up we have TOCA, Touring Cars 2, released by Codemasters in 1999. And I've never played this game before. And same with this one, which is the first game, TOCA, or TOCA, Touring Car Championship. Same company 2 years earlier, 1997. And we have another racing game, which is a Mario Kart clone with Toy Story characters. And you know Toy Story is one of my favorite Disney films of all time next to Aladdin. This is called Toy Story Racer, released by Activision in 2001. And it's like a Mario Kart clone with Toy Story characters. But it's really disappointing, though, that they didn't have any of the characters who debuted in the second movies, like Jessie and Bullseye, and also Emperor Zurg and the Prospector. But all you get, one of the other racers you get is one of Sid's toy characters. So, and it's pretty cool, though. It's a pretty good game, though. It's recommended if you're a kart racing fan, like me. Okay, next up we have a game that is based off the 2002 Disney animated film and also one of the later PS1 titles, Treasure Planet. It's an okay game. Still recommended. And next up we have a game made by Namco, same company that made Pac-Man and Tekken, Treasures of the Deep in 1997. Never played this game before, so I would have to give this game a try one day. And last up in the games that start with T, another one of the later PS1 titles, Twisted Metal Small Brawl, released by Sony in 2001, one of the later PS1 titles, and also the same year the Nintendo GameCube came out. I don't think I've ever played this game before, and I did hear this game did get some negative reviews. And that concludes all the games that begin with T in my PS1 mini review, which I modified last summer to add more games to it. And sorry about the long delays. I just had a lot on my mind with COVID and everything going on. So see y'all next time.